welcome back to Dom's Corner, everybody. I'm your host, Dom Martino, and we got a lot to talk about, including those two WandaVision episodes that came out. And sitting here with me today to my right is Mr. Ian Schick. Ian, how you doing today?
As always, I'm feeling very, very happy.
Are you? What made you so happy today?
Oh, I got off work.
Oh. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I got off work too. Hey, down to the bottom of making his Dom's Corner and Anorak's debut here is Mr. Chris Howard. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Hey, how are you doing tonight?
Not too bad, buddy. Not too bad. Appreciate you being here. This is very exciting. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get into. Movie review for Mank. I finally got to see that. But hey guys, before we get started, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comments section. Even though we're lagging like a motherfucker, would appreciate that very much. And hopefully next week we'll be running smooth. So yeah. So has the week been good, guys? had a good week then overall, or just
Well, I got a new job, so that's been good on my part. Other than that, I mean, all these things going on, it's been all right. I've been really tired.
You can't even fucking walk into the grocery store without like military presence everywhere right now. By the way,
Fun fact: I
What?
work at I work at a grocery store. I'm a nice worker drone, so
right on.
yeah.
Is there military presence there?
No, but there sure are a lot of, us there, shopping for others.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. So I gotta tell you guys, I watched. Well, we'll get into this, I guess. I watched the this trailer for Cherry. Did you guys see this?
Not at all. I don't even know what it is.
Well, I'll tell you how this all kind of started. So, Tom Holland tweeted out. What was yesterday's date? Not yesterday, the day before. I don't know, whatever.
Today's the 15th, so it would have been the 13th.
Yeah, so he tweeted out like 1/13/2020 or 2021, and so which means I thought it was going to be the Spider-Man 3 trailer that was going to drop, and turns out it was this movie Cherry that he's in. But what's interesting is this is actually going to be directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, who did the Avengers movies, or the last two. The Infinity War and Endgame, and it looks pretty cool, man. It looks like he's so Tom Holland's going to be playing a soldier who's like got PTSD, which we've seen a lot of these, but this one's got like kind of a twist. It looks like, and it looks like he's going to be like yeah, he looks like a dude who had like a really normal life, but then like he like then he goes into the war. He gets like PTSD when he gets out of the war. Then he comes back. And then he's like robbing banks and shit. It looks like really fucking nuts. Like if you've seen it, like it's. So I definitely recommend it.
Just say, was there like more to the trailer at all? Like anything like big you seen?
It's weird though because like it looks like a rom-com mixed with an action movie mixed with a drama. A drama, mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, like a PTSD war movie drama type thing. So it's like it's got all those elements mixed in there. It looks really crazy. I was wondering if it's going to be 3 hours because, like, you look at those Avengers movies, like they made them 3 hours.
I'm kind of wondering from the way you just described, like the intro, if it's going to start off kind of like how Full Metal Jacket starts off. That kind of lighthearted, just kind of funny feel, and then it gets to that point where fucking dude blows his brains out.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's I don't know, man. I really like Tom Holland. You realize he's got like 4 big movies coming out this year, if you include Cherry.
That is true.
He's got that, Uncharted, Spider-Man 3, and what's the other one? The Chaos Walking one he's got coming out.
That's true.
Yeah.
A lot of the movies that Tom Holland is in is almost guaranteed to be gold. I'm excited for whatever he could.
It's so true, man. Did you see that one last year? The fucking God, what it was on Netflix? I can't think of it.
I know what you're talking about.
Right, it had like such a good cast, but Tom Holland was like the lead character in it. And
I know what you're talking about.
God damn!
I still have yet to watch that. Hold on, I got you.
Devil All the Time. Devil All the Time.
That's it.
Yeah, it was him, Pattinson. Did you guys watch that?
I've been meaning to watch that.
Such a good movie. Like I loved it. It's like insanely controversial because of the way it deals with religion and stuff. But like as far as like a performance, like I was really like, yeah, Tom Holland just killed it. It was like probably the most mature thing he's ever taken on. So yeah, I'm excited to see him continuing to work. Are you guys excited for his Uncharted movie?
Oh
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That caused
I would
so
love
much,
to see him.
that caused so much division at first because it was like Nathan.
Video game movie.
Well, no, they wanted an older Nathan Drake, and they didn't want a younger one. People, so
Fuck him.
it seemed like yeah.
Tom Holland is gold.
I agree. Yeah, dude, it looks. This new one looks really good. The cherry. I mean, and yeah, I'm excited for Uncharted. Chaos Walking is probably going to be. I mean, it might be shit. They said the production was kind of a disaster on that. And then, yeah, but like, look at like something like Rogue One though. Like Rogue One's production was an absolute disaster, and it turned out like that movie was fucking amazing. So
That
When
it
they're-
was.
That was a top grossing film, right?
Yeah.
yeah, $1 billion. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
You
in,
and me went and seen that, Ian. It was great.
Oh yeah. I missed the first 30 fucking minutes.
of Rogue One. What happened?
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, man, I'm really thirsty. He's like, you want to go get us drinks? I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a free movie from you. So yeah, I'll go get us drinks.
Oh,
The line
Yeah.
was so goddamn long. It was before the movie even started. Okay.
Yeah.
It was technically 45 minutes
Uh-huh.
that I was away from the goddamn fucking movies. But it was like 15 minutes of it was like trailers. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I missed the first fucking 30 minutes
It was fucking.
for him and me. But him.
At least it was a drink line, and you didn't go to Taco Bell and get yourself the shits first. So good job.
You're right.
It's like that's happened to many people, I know, but yeah, but no, so moving in, the other thing I watched, and if you guys have seen me, I mean, on this show many times, Jareth and I have actually talked about Euphoria on this show many times, the HBO show with Zendaya, and she just won her Emmy off of that, like not that long ago, or whenever the last Emmys was, that virtual Emmys that they did, and she won for Best Actress. So
I think we talked about that.
yeah, so she's so incredible in the show. Well, what I'm happy about is this new movie called Malcolm and Marie. Now, this is actually from the director, or it's directed by the creator of Euphoria. So I'm pretty stoked about this. And this stars Zendaya and John David Washington. Now, what I really liked about this trailer, and this drops on Netflix next month, and what I really enjoyed about this trailer is, number one, it looks like something that would be made by the director of Euphoria. But number two, they shot it during this pandemic in secret, which I think is really interesting. And what they ended up doing was, I mean, it really looks like an intimate piece. Like it's just going to be Sam Levinson with his camera, along with Zendaya and John David Washington, who are just... I mean, it's going to be like the whole movie is done by two actors. Now, for those of you who don't watch Euphoria, what happened was season 2 was supposed to be out already, but they couldn't deliver that. And because of the pandemic, they were like, Sam Levinson was like, well, I want to keep delivering this show. So this last episode that aired on HBO was like a special episode that Sam Levinson had shot, and it's very similar to what this movie looks like it's going to be, which was two actors just engaging in one long intimate conversation, and it was so fucking powerful. So that's why I'm so excited for Malcolm and Marie. But did you guys see this trailer, or do either of you watch Euphoria?
I don't have a means to be able to watch HBO.
I see.
So anything HBO related, I have to go to either my parents' place or, stream it online, if you know what I mean.
We don't talk about that. I forgot. We don't talk about that anymore. But yeah, stream it online on legal websites like HBO's website.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, Ian, have you watched Euphoria, or?
No, I still
Okay.
haven't.
Okay.
I know it's on HBO now that I have the means to watch it. That's something I'm gonna give a shot.
Jareth and I fucking love this show. Like, we think it's like one of the best things HBO's ever put out, and yeah, man, it's insanely good. But I tell you, binge through season 1 and then watch that special episode they put out, and I think it'll make you more excited for Malcolm and Marie, seeing as it's a lot like that special episode they put out, where it's like an intimate piece just between two actors, you know, or at least if there's going to be any more actors than two actors in one thing, and then it won't be many more. So I think it'll pan out to be pretty good. So I definitely recommend it.
I'll definitely watch the trailer. I just watched the trailer for the first time today for WandaVision.
Oh, well, good for you. And then you watch the show.
Yeah, and then I watched the show.
Okay. Yeah, man. So hey, and also, guys, let us know what you thought of the trailers in the comment section below. We appreciate that very much. Yeah, but moving on. Do you have the rundown on you, Ian? Because I sure don't.
Give me 1 second.
We had stuff to talk
We're all
about.
just ill prepared today.
Well, you know what? Let's move into this story that dropped more recently after I made the rundown, which is this Captain America story. So, has been reported that Chris Evans is reprising his role as Captain America in the MCU.
He's a fucking liar.
What? I don't know, man. What do you think, Ian?
I just sent the rundown to you so I could see it.
Okay, appreciate that.
Anyway, I'm mad at him.
Okay.
I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him because he lied. He said, I'm done playing fucking Captain America. You're a goddamn liar, Chris Evans, but I'm happy you're doing it. But you're a liar. They must have offered him a better deal than what he previously had, because it seemed like he was really tired of doing the role from the way he explained it in the past. Without actually saying, yeah, I'm fucking done with being Captain America. It's shit. So it seemed like he was just tired of the role. Maybe he was just tired of the team that he was working with to make the movies. Maybe he felt, overwhelmed by who he's working with. I'm not sure. But it'd be absolutely cool to see him return to the MCU. I'm wondering if it's going to be like a prequel to, Captain America, like the events or some shit, or a prequel to Endgame. I don't know. Because he really didn't get a lot of standalone movies. The rest of it just... Do we count Civil War as a standalone?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, Civil War wasn't a standalone. Civil War it was still an Avengers thing to me.
Yeah, I got you. No, I'll state the obvious here. I mean, number one, I like Chris Evans. Obviously,
yeah, I love him.
I think he's a great actor. Number two, I love Chris Evans as Captain America. I think that is just a given, and
he made that role his.
Yeah, I feel like he was perfect for it.
Yeah, and I think that he is perfect for Captain America, and I'm a huge fan. But the thing is I thought his ending was just so well done. You know what I mean?
Fitting.
And and just so final. It felt so final, right? And it just was like something where I'm sitting here going, I don't know if I want to see him back. But we have to bear in mind that we don't really know what this is going to be yet. You know what I mean? So it could be a cameo of sorts.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be like WandaVision, but this time we're going to see him live his life. And
hold that thought, because there is something I want to ask you about WandaVision, but relating to Captain America. So hold that thought. But
okay.
Chris, what do you think? Do you think that Chris Evans should reprise this role? Do you think this makes sense?
I'm really excited to see Captain America, Chris Evans play Captain America again, but I'm also kind of disappointed that it's so soon and we haven't even seen Falcon, take up that mantle yet.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's a good point. But go ahead.
I'm starting to piece together. I'm starting to piece together what Dom was meaning. He has something to ask about because it might
save it for the spoilers. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead,
sorry.
Chris. I'm sorry.
But it was such a big moment in the comics, when Falcon became Captain America. We've seen Bucky become Cap, several times before, but Falcon?
Yeah.
So I was excited to see how that was going to go.
Yeah.
And when he passed the shield off at the end of the movie, I was like, oh my God, we're going to get a cool Captain America with Falcon and with Sam, and then oh, he's gonna come back. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, Chris, I think we have some possible good news for you, but it'll
I think
have to
so
wait.
too. And I think I have a theory on where he's going to show up, but that's just if we're on the same page, Ian.
There's a couple places he could show up, not just where we think the one place.
Okay.
I think there's a couple places.
Well, we'll get into that later, but
Yeah.
remind me to talk about that aspect of it. But
I will. if not, Chris will.
I just realized that there was another trailer that I missed talking about, and I don't know.
I have it right here.
It's called Our Friend.
Yes,
is the movie, and this stars Jason Segel and Casey Affleck, and yeah, man. I mean, that's really all I need to know. You know what I mean?
That's all I needed to know.
This duo, I saw this in the trailer. I was like, this looks pretty amazing. Basically, the premise, it looks like that their friend does have cancer, a mutual female friend, and looks like a nice little good-hearted comedy here. Ian, I know you didn't get to see the trailer, but yeah, what do you think of the pairing of Jason Segel and Casey Affleck?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't think of anything that I've seen Casey Affleck in. Can you spark some memories for me?
Manchester by the Sea, Ghost Story, Gone Baby Gone.
I haven't seen any of those.
Okay, all right.
I don't know much about Casey Affleck. Jason Segel was enough to get me in there.
We haven't seen him in a while. That's the other thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking up a picture of him to see. I don't think I've actually ever seen much with him in it.
He's Ben Affleck's brother, but
Good Will Hunting. He's in Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. Yeah, there you go. He is. Yeah, he's in that movie. That's right. That's
Who's
a great,
he playing?
phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it's a that's like the first Blu-ray movie I bought.
You know, Matt Damon. He was the orphan, and he has all the brothers. He's one of the brothers. Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you know who Casey Affleck is? American Pie. Do you remember Kevin? And like in the first two movies, he would call his brother about like the Bible of sex or something like that. And like,
is this the one? Is this the one that hooked up
Casey
with
Affleck.
Is he the one that hooked up with?
He's not in the movie much. He only shows up when Kevin calls him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God, it's been a minute. It's been a long minute.
Yeah. What, Chris? What do you think of the pairing of Jason Segel and Casey Affleck? Yeah.
I wasn't done.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. So, the idea behind it, you said it's a comedy and stuff like that.
It looks
Kind
like
of
a
reminds
nice
me.
little good-hearted comedy. I mean, it's got they looks like a bunch of friends that grew up together, and or three friends: Casey Affleck, Jason Segel, and I can't remember who plays the female friend, but she is she basically has cancer, and yeah, it looks like I know it sounds sad, but like it looks like a kind of a comedy with like a lot of sadness, like a good-hearted comedy.
Well, the premise so far kind of reminds me of the idea of 50-50.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh,
I liked that film.
Dude, I mean, I swear.
And I actually absolutely do not like Seth Rogen. I don't think he's a funny actor.
50-50, I think, is actually, I'm not kidding you when I say this. I would throw that in the top 25 greatest movies of all time.
I honestly would too. And that's actually
perfect.
saying that's a good role for Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect movie. I'm
probably going to get shit on for my views on Seth Rogen.
Yeah, it's possible.
I just don't think he's funny.
I think he's a really talented dude, but okay.
I like his directive skills. I think he's a good director.
Yeah. I mean, he is a good director. That's true. Very true.
I just don't find him himself funny or good in acting roles.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Chris's.
Yeah, Chris. So Jason Segel and Casey Affleck teaming up for this. So how do you feel about it?
I haven't seen much movies with either of them, but if it's who I'm thinking of from American Pie, I think it's going to be pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably going to have to check that movie out too.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, from early things I've read, they're both really fantastic in the movie. It's a really good pairing, and yeah, I hope it turns out well. I think that one's going to be on Apple TV Plus. That's the only bummer to that.
Fuck!
I'm not a big fan of that, but I think, don't hold me to that, but yeah. Oh yeah, so we got to talk about this one too, and this also came out after the rundown. Not a trailer. I'm sorry, it's just a news story that came out. So Liam Neeson did an interview here pretty recently, and
I saw something about this just earlier.
Yeah,
Is it another Taken movie?
no. They asked him about how he would feel about showing up as Qui-Gon Jinn in the Kenobi series, and what he said was I'm not kidding you. This was basically his response was, "Are they still really making Star Wars?" So, I don't know. Ian, number one, I mean, do you think that, do you want to see Liam Neeson show up as Qui-Gon and Kenobi as a Force Ghost? And also, do you think he's full of shit?
He's absolutely and utterly fucking full of shit. There's no way he wouldn't know they're making more Star Wars movies. That was one of his best roles. Look, I know a lot of people shit on the fucking prequel series, like the prequel series. I enjoy it. I enjoy it for what it is. And I think he did. Qui-Gon Jinn is a fucking fantastic character. Phenomenal character. He is absolutely utterly full of shit. But there was a different piece of news I saw today that involved him saying, now I don't know if this is true because it came from fucking Daily Mail. We all know Daily Mail shit. Yeah. But apparently I don't know, because like when it stems from somewhere, there's obviously some kind of backing behind it. So maybe he might be actually done with this, but apparently he's retiring from action movies. So we will see. That doesn't necessarily say he's done with movies. But
yeah, but I wouldn't consider. Well, first of all, Kenobi's not a movie; it's a series. Secondly, I wouldn't even consider it to be.
It's not action,
right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm saying he's full of shit. Did he have any type of smirk on his face when he said it, or was he just straight faced the whole way?
I think it's a written interview, so I don't think there's actually video of it. But unfortunately,
bastard.
But I mean, he really was like. I mean, he said he'd be down to do it, but he was just like, are people really still interested in Star Wars? Are they really still making those? You know,
yes,
and,
yes, we are.
He is absolutely full of shit. I would love to see him as Qui-Gon Jinn again, and honestly, we need a Qui-Gon Jinn series.
Honestly, if I was a betting man, he was on set today filming some stuff for Qui-Gon. Like, I'd be at serious.
Oh yeah.
If I was a
I
betting
hope
man.
so. And I honestly hope that Daily Mail was absolutely full of shit on their part, because we know it's fucking Daily Mail. But I hope he's not done with action movies.
Oh yeah,
because he could still play some good roles.
Yeah. Chris, do you think Liam Neeson's full of shit, and do you think he'll be back? Do you want to see him back as a Qui-Gon as a Force Ghost?
I think he's full of shit, and I would love to see Qui-Gon Jinn come back in some capacity, because he was funny as hell. Just how simple he was with it, you know.
Yeah.
Trying to do the mind trick on Watto.
Yeah, no, he's wonderful in the role. Absolutely, he's wonderful in the role, and I want to see him back as the Force Ghost. I want to see him go to Tatooine, visit Kenobi, and be like, dude, get your shit together. Like this, go get this kid.
I want to see him try to, for Jedi mind trick Watto
get your shit together. But no, seriously, man. I mean, it's like I could not imagine this series like without him on there. I think he's absolutely full of shit, dude. The guy, like he doesn't know who Dave Filoni is. He came in and did the voice of Qui-Gon for Clone Wars. Like he knows exactly who Dave Filoni is.
He said he doesn't know who Dave Filoni is.
No, but it's like if he knows who Dave Filoni is, then he knows there's Star Wars still relevant today. And like on the
if
other,
he sees any type of news whatsoever, he knows there's Star Wars today.
Right. And on the other end of that, didn't he just do a voice for Rise of Skywalker like not that long ago? They're still making those my ass.
That had to have been an absolute fucking joke on his part. He's
full of shit. He signed on to this thing probably 2 years ago, I bet you.
He signed on the moment he signed on to do the voice.
They just show up to his door and they're like, "Can you say this weird arbitrary line?" Sure, I guess.
Yeah. Dude,
how much you paying me?
I mean, they were making the deals for Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen for this series like 3 years ago. They were making these deals, actually longer than that. So I mean, it's just like there's no way they did not approach Liam Neeson and ask him about this. So and there's no way he'd said no.
With it being an interview setup, I'd imagine like if he didn't know about it, he would have been like, "Oh no, I never even thought of that." this and that. He's like, they haven't approached me yet, or some shit like that. But no, he just straight up said they're still making those. Like, that's just dead giveaway.
He's
absolute dead giveaway.
He's gonna show up.
And I like his way of doing it because he knows that people are gonna know that it was supposed to be bullshit. There's no way he didn't do that in a sense of like, oh, this is bullshit.
He's in it.
Oh yeah.
So let me know what you guys think out there in the comment section below. Do you want to see Liam Neeson back? I'm sure the answer is going to be hell yes for all of you. So
It better be.
We're coming for you. I will find you, and I will force you.
I have a very particular set of skills. I can't do it, Liam Neeson. Whatever. All right. So, Ian, this is a little bit more up your alley of expertise, so I'm going to let you talk about this Lucasfilm's game deal a little bit, if you would.
Actually, we have somebody here who would know a lot more about that than I would probably.
Okay, Chris?
Are we talking the Lucasfilm's games with Ubisoft and the open world Star Wars?
Yeah, want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, he would have researched that way more than I would have.
I'm excited. I love the open worlds of, Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like they do a great job with their open worlds.
Yes.
And just, Star Wars like that would blow my mind. And I'm so
absolutely
excited.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the premise would be?
I personally, if I were making a game, obviously I would set it during the Order 66 or afterwards, something like that. Play a Jedi, obviously. Have to go around saving other Jedi from, Order 66, stuff like that. Or running, on the run. Just kind of meld in that Assassin's Creed flavor, but with, one of the greatest iconic timelines in the Star Wars universe.
Personally, I would love to see them redo and make canon again Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be good.
I've yet to play those games, and now it's pretty much impossible for me to, unless I have a PC, and I don't have a PC at this moment.
I played them a long time ago on the original Xbox. I think they're on Steam, and I've been thinking about picking them up.
They are.
I'm getting them then.
Getting them. And I imagine they're pretty cheap. Outside of that, so to not bore Dom. No, outside of that, real quick. So Dom had come forward to me the other day asking about a certain news source, asking if it was reliable or not. I don't know if this one is reliable, but they had mentioned the possibility of a Battlefront 3. Do you know anything about that whatsoever?
I haven't heard of anything from Battlefront. If it's EA, I'm not really, on board with it because, they kind of dropped the ball with the first game and then dropped it even more with the second game and its loot box controversies.
Yeah. Apparently they had a great story mode for the second game. I'm not really sure. I've yet to touch it. Outside of that, Gaming Bible was the name of the source. Do you know anything about them?
I've heard of them. It's kind of up in the air. I mostly get my stuff from IGN,
Polygon and shit like that.
Yeah, and Kotaku.
Yeah, Kotaku is definitely By the way, Dom, good news source.
Hey,
Kotaku.
I'm here too. Hey, listen, Ian. Listen, guys. There's things I just don't know. I'm never gonna know. I'm never gonna understand or know how to talk to women. I am never ever going to know how to do geometry. Never gonna know how to do algebra 2. But there's one thing I do know. That Ubisoft open world game is gonna be Old Republic. It has to be. So
I'm
thank you.
So fucking hopeful. But real quick, just for your future references. I forgot about Kotaku. Kotaku is a fantastic news source for video games. Polygon, in my opinion, I like Polygon. And then I think that's the one. My names are all jumbled up right now. And then IGN. Those are all fantastic news sources. Other than the fact that was it IGN that said some shit about Spider-Man and like the Miles Morales game? Were they the ones that dropped the bad bomb? and got like
Are you asking me?
yeah, because you were the one that talked to me about this.
Sorry, IGN did what?
He spaced out so
I am
hard.
present.
Is IGN the one that that like said some shit about Miles Morales? They said the backwards things they probably shouldn't have. Or was that GameSpot?
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't remember. It was one of those two.
Either way, GameSpot is another good source. I hope your border's like covering that because I can still see.
100%.
Okay, cool. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, there's not really
Well, now that
much.
you said it out loud,
They don't know. You could be sucking on a
you're
dildo.
sucking a dick over here, huh?
a lightsaber dildo. Anyway, I would like to see them do Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2 as well, and then maybe like my personal idea would be to see like. I'm sorry. That one was laughable as fuck. Anyway, I would like to see them
That was
do
pretty good, wasn't it?
a timeline for like Ahsoka, like an Ahsoka video game.
Oh, I would kill for an Ahsoka video game.
Yeah, I mean, like it would be cool to see like what happens between, you know, like the parts between Clone Wars and Rebels, and then what happens between Rebels and Mandalorian. Like those timelines to see a video game with her in it. I would love an Ahsoka video game. I don't know how you'd feel about that, Dom. I know he just said he'd love that. I would play the fucking shit out of an Ahsoka video game.
I had the show going; it was on track, and then I don't know what happened.
We just
Did it just close out?
No, you're good.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Oh, okay. I was just waiting. I was waiting for you on to see like where we were going with this because I noticed you started something. I was trying to stall for you.
Ahsoka video game, honestly, yeah, I'm gonna take one of those if they release it. Like, you think I'm not gonna play that? Yeah, I'm gonna play it, but I'm telling you, this game is gonna be Old Republic. Whatever they release next, it's gonna be. I'm telling you right now. I have 100% confidence that whatever they release next is gonna be Old Republic. 100%.
I think there was a trailer.
Okay.
I think there was a trailer a few years ago where it was so long ago, like maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was two brothers, and they end up. I know it was Star Wars. They had lightsabers.
Was it the 1313 one that got shut down?
No, I think it was something Old Republic. I'm not really sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that they're just going to straight up remake the Knights of the Old Republic game. I think what they're going to do is they're going to make their own story out of it. But I think they'll cherry pick like a lot of the characters and stuff. Like, we know Revan.
They'll make it canon again.
We know Revan is canon. Like, Revan came from that game. We know Revan is going to be canon. That's 100% like a fact. Like, anything they've released with Revan, it has not had the Legends symbol on it. It's all canon still. With Revan, all the story with Revan, but the character they do plan to bring back. So I think 100% this game is going to be Knights of the Old Republic kind of reworked into their own canon, if that makes sense. So
I think it'd be a disservice to the fans of Star Wars that liked the Old Republic games to not have Revan in another video game at some point.
Or either that or they're just gonna work Revan into the High Republic somehow. Now that we're kind of exploring that era, which we'll kind of talk about later, but. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe they'll make a High Republic game, which, well, I'll get into that later. I have some thoughts about that, but
I apologize, Dom, for getting off track. I just noticed you started
fine.
doing some things, and
You're
then
fine.
I wanted to stall for time for
Hey,
you.
it gave me a break. I was happy. All right, so all right, all right. So let's talk about No Time to Die. This push 7 months. Not 7 months, I'm sorry, that's the other movie we're gonna talk about. This one was pushed to October. Yeah. Listen, this thing was supposed to be out last November. I'm tired of waiting on it. I'm tired of waiting to see this epic Bond movie. I'm tired of waiting to see the opening credits with the Billie Eilish song. I want to see it all, man. And I want to see where this all goes. I think this is going to be one of the best Bond movies out there. I also think that Daniel Craig's gonna go out with a bang, considering this is his last one.
This is
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, and I think it's gonna be quite amazing. I can't wait to see what they do with this. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm the next Bond, by the way.
sorry, do what?
I said, yeah, I'm the next Bond, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Always.
Yeah, well, we were wondering. Is it inquiring minds were wanting to know, so thanks for clearing that up. But yeah, we'll start with Chris on this one. Chris, are you upset about this move to push the 7 months? Do you think it's a little over dramatic? Not to get too political on things, but I mean, do you think that it what do you think?
Do we know why they're pushing the movie back?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming they don't think the theaters are going to be open, but I don't know.
Oh, well. Um, I'd like to have people safe and everything, but if they really had to, they could put it online. And I really want to see this movie as soon as I can.
Yeah.
So I do think they're being a little over dramatic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ian, you and I talked about too. I mean, they were they're making those HBO Max deals over at Warner Brothers where they're putting a lot of their movies straight to streaming. Do you think that Bond deserves a theatrical release, or do you think that this is something that you think would do fine on HBO Max going straight to streaming?
I think it would do. Oh, were you talking to me or Chris?
Ian, sorry, that was an Ian question, but.
So I mean, like when it comes to streaming, I feel like streaming's going to do pretty well this year.
Yeah.
I feel like theatrical in Texas will do fantastic, but that's just because nobody here fucking cares. How many customers come into my store like not wearing a mask and refuse to put one on? Anyway,
It's my right.
I kind of forgot they were releasing a Bond film again. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that first trailer. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll watch that. And then like, it just kind of died for me. Like I watched the first trailer when it came out, and then like anything about it just kind of died for me because I try not to watch any more trailers after one trailer of something because I don't want it to be spoiled for me.
Mm-hmm.
So after so long of not going, not coming out, it kind of just went in the back of my mind. So I wonder if people even remember it's coming out. So it might not be a big deal to a lot of people because they forgot it's coming out if they're like me. But I think if it went to streaming services, it would be okay. But I feel like Bond films definitely deserve that theatrical release. I feel like everything deserves a theatrical release, if I'm being honest with you.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there's nothing more satisfying than watching something on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like, I may have a fucking 55-inch right here, but, like, what are the dimensions of those fucking screens? Like, 100 foot?
Yeah. Well, I have a 65-inch, and I still want to see Bond in the IMAX. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like on one end, like I understand Chris's point. Like I think that I want everybody to be safe too. I don't think that they should, they should wait till they're comfortable. But and I get that, and it makes a lot of sense when you really start to break it down that way. But man, this thing was supposed to come out last November. That's just what's so crazy about it. And I'm kind of sitting there like. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm sure Daniel Craig can't wait for this damn thing to come out because he wants to move the fuck on, And,
do you think they might have pushed it back because Star Wars being released last year?
No, Star Wars didn't get released last year.
I thought it was. Oh wait, you're right. My bad. I'm stupid.
Yeah,
I think that was 2 years ago.
You said November. You said November, and I was like,
I was thinking, year as in 2020, not.
I was thinking 2019.
Right. No, I got you. But no, it was. I mean, either way, I just think that this is. I mean, listen, there's a lot of things like Dune, for example. Like I understand why they, put that onto. Or they kind of reworked their streaming deal with HBO Max, and they were like, no, you're going to put us in the IMAX because Dune, something like that, needs the money to make the sequel because, they need every penny they can get because it's something that, well, first of all, it's kind of a more sophisticated sci-fi fantasy type thing. So it's it's something that, a lot of audience members aren't going to see, but they kind of made that specifically to make a sequel. So they need every penny they can get and not these streaming deals where they're getting screwed. However, I gotta say, as much as I want to see Bond on the IMAX, I think Bond would do just fine. If you put that on HBO Max, I think you would gain a lot of subscriptions off that. And
I agree
think
with
it's
that.
something like that is actually one of the smarter things to throw on the streaming service, if you ask me. I understand that they want to make some money, but I mean, like, when you take all the Bond films combined, I mean, they've made their money off of these things, and I think that they would only benefit if they put it on streaming. And I'm just thinking from business, not my personal wants, if that makes sense. So from a business standpoint, I actually think that they should have, they should put this thing on streaming, but I don't know.
We were talking about, I made a joke about who the next Bond is going to be. I want to talk about that really quick because a friend and I talked about who we think the next Bond should be a while ago.
I have a theory, but go ahead.
We think it should be Idris Elba.
Okay. Chris, you have an idea of who you think it's going to be?
It really doesn't matter to me. I've always seen the moniker of 007 as, a moniker. Like, to me, that would explain why everyone is different, and it would, and sorry, I'm kind of scatterbrained right now.
Yeah.
But James Bond and the moniker of 007 to me is just like a code name for someone that they can just send out, which would explain why there's a James Bond in each era. And so it really doesn't matter to me. I'd like to see Idris Elba, play Bond.
I think it's going to be Henry Golding.
Who's that?
My theory. Crazy Rich Asians.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
That's who I think they're going to pick.
What's his name? Henry what?
Henry Golding. I think it might be Goul, maybe. I don't know. That's who I think they're going to pick. Yeah, that's my guess.
Is he British?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Idris Elba though, man.
I think some of the, I think Idris Elba is a great actor and would be a good pick. Like, if they picked him, I wouldn't be upset at all. I just feel like there's the caveat that kind of comes with that is it's Idris Elba. You know what I mean? It's like, so to me,
that would get people right away.
What's that?
That would get people right away.
Mm-hmm. Sure, but I think that it would also take them out of the movie too. Like,
why?
When you think about the Bonds that they've cast in the past, they've never been massive names when you really start to break it down. I mean, Sean Connery was not massive at the time. He became massive afterward. Yeah. Roger Moore wasn't much. I mean, he'd been in some stuff. I mean, it's the same. Timothy Dalton. Who's the one guy that did the one movie? George Lazenby. I mean,
what guy did the one movie?
He only did the one Bond movie, and then he dropped out of the fucking thing because he got shit on so much. But well, at the time, it was the first time they didn't do Connery, so like people were kind of like they thought it was jarring. But Pierce Brosnan wasn't a massive name at the time. I mean, it's just, and Daniel Craig. I mean, who the fuck was he before this?
Yeah, I never heard him before this.
And I mean, they become big actors after Bond. But I always like when they cast somebody who's a little bit smaller. So I think that like a Henry Golding would be perfect. And I think that it's my honest prediction is that they are going to cast Henry Golding. I think they will.
If they stick with the smaller actors, I'm definitely cool with that. I would just absolutely love to see fucking Idris Elba. That's just me, because he would fit that role so well.
Yeah, I don't disagree. In terms of the fit. Like, I think I wouldn't be upset. You know what I mean? I
do like the idea of them continuing to pick smaller actors, though.
Yeah,
I do like that idea.
You know what? You need to watch Henry Golding in The Gentleman. And I think after watching that, you might change your mind a little bit. You'd be like, I think he might be a really great Bond. Like. Yeah, but I do like Idris Elba as a choice. I mean, Tom Hardy was rumored there for a while. I think that's even going a little too big.
I don't like that one.
I think he'd be a great Bond villain, Tom Hardy, but
yes,
I don't like him as like
fantastic Bond villain.
As Bond, maybe not so much. I mean, there's Henry Cavill was one that was getting thrown around for a while.
That wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, I
like the idea of Henry.
If you want my honest prediction though for this Bond movie, I think Bond's gonna die at the end. The No Time to Die. I think he's going to die at the end of it. So we'll see.
They could tie my theory in that James Bond is just a moniker and they pass it off to someone.
Right. Yeah, that's like something that people have been talking about for a long time. And I mean, when you really look at the quote unquote canon of Bond, though, they've never really all connected. You know what I mean? Like the one that George Lazenby did. I mean, he's running from a girl on the. I mean, they break the fourth wall. Some of these guys. I mean, he's running from the girls on the beach, or he's talking to a girl on the beach. The girl gets away from him. George Lazenby looks at the camera and goes, "This never happened to the other fella." You know what I mean? So it's just like when you start to tie in all the bonds, like they've never really stuck to like a clear cut canon. It's like but it makes a lot more sense when you do look at it from the perspective of Bond's a code name, not the man. You know what I mean? And I think that really works in a big way there. I
like the idea of that.
Yeah, me too. And I mean. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. All right, so let's talk about this one, the Morbius movie. Just got pushed 7 months. Does anybody care about this movie?
He's connected to Spider-Man, so you know
that's
I'm
like the only
go see that.
Yeah, so I mean, like, even though I don't like Jared Leto, even though I don't like him, I'm still gonna go watch it.
It is Jared Leto. Okay, I'm out. I'm out of this movie. I don't like Jared Leto. Not at all.
I think he's a really talented dude. I just
Oh yeah, he is, but I feel like he's just a little with the whole Suicide Squad thing and the whole Joaquin Phoenix taking over as Joker and him, the whole controversy of him like, oh, I never even got a chance to be the Joker. It's like, yeah, you did, and you were horrible at it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna,
he also kind of. Actually, no, you go on.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you're gonna cast people in roles, I mean, if they're talented, get them. But I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, aside from how they are in real life and all that, and
he also kind of fucked himself, man. I mean, like, I get like getting into character, method acting. I get method acting, but like he went so far as to send Margot Robbie a fucking dead bird. I mean, come on, man.
And then there was the whole used condoms thing, and it's like, oh wow, that's totally what the Joker would do, right?
Yeah.
And I was cringing when I was hearing about that. Like, no.
Yeah, I'm not denying that he's not a great person. I'm just saying that in terms of his acting ability, I think that he is actually a tremendous actor. I wouldn't deny that.
He was fantastic in American Psycho.
Yeah.
I like his music.
American Psycho, I mean, Fight Club, he got Dallas Buyers Club. He's got a really good resume. I mean, I don't think it's his acting. I really want to see the little things with him and Rami Malek and Denzel coming out here pretty quick. I mean, that's another one I want to see. He looks like he's going to do a great job. I have no doubt in his acting ability. I think he's a really talented dude. But yeah, I don't know, man. Ian, you're not excited for Morbius, so...
I'm going to go watch it because Spider-Man. I mean, honestly, I'm going to watch it because Spider-Man. And honestly, if I'm correct, Morbius is the one that kind of incited the first idea, Into the Spider-Verse, right?
No, I don't think
Was
so.
that Morbius in the comics?
I'm trying to...
Maybe.
I'll get back to you on that. I need to actually look that up.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know Chris was talking to me about it like a few years ago before, like right when Into the Spider-Verse was like announced. He was talking to me about the comics, but no, I have mixed feelings, man. I mean, like, I don't care for Jared Leto. I just don't. But with it being Spider-Man, I want to give it a shot, and I want to see how well he does. Yeah. And I hope he does a great job. I hope he does a fantastic job.
I mean, the only thing that I would say that excites me about this is Michael Keaton's Vulture coming back in it. You know what I mean? That's the only thing.
He is?
Yeah. But
okay, I'm excited for it. Because Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton's enough.
He pops up in the trailer there right at the end, but yeah, I mean, I think that's the only other thing that really excites me about it. I genuinely, I mean, I'm not saying Sony's like done a terrible job. Obviously, I've liked both Spider-Man movies that they've done. As far as I'm sorry, the ones that take place in the MCU in this new Spider-Verse that they're building. Obviously, I like Into the Spider-Verse is phenomenal. It's, you know, I mean, obviously. And then, but I really wasn't a fan of Venom. This trailer gave me Venom vibes, so I'm not really looking forward to it myself. But Yeah, I'm not. I don't really. If they want to push to 7 months, it doesn't affect me too much. You know what I mean? But the only other question I would have is, do you think that they'll push Venom 2 next after this move?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
I hope.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, Chris. I guess this is the better idea to ask. Who was the main villain in the Spider-Verse comics?
It was Moreland. I just looked it up.
It was Moreland, not
Yeah, he
Morbius.
was. No, it was Moreland. Which why that's how it got me confused. I was thinking more, you know. But in the Spider-Verse comics, he's basically dimension warping to the different Spider-Verses, and so he ends up going to it was hilarious when I read it the first time. Back in the day, they had just these 3-panel comics for Spider-Man, and so he teleports in. Well, this version of Spider-Man and Mary Jane are having a picnic, and he's like, "I'm here to kill you." And Peter's like, "Oh no, I need to fight him." And Mary Jane's like, "You need to be careful." And then it goes to the next comic, and he goes, "I'm here to kill you." He goes, "I'm gonna get in my Spider-Man suit now." And it just keeps going. And then Moreland's like, "Wait a minute, why are we repeating this? What's going on?" Because it's the medium of a 3-panel Spider-Man comic that gets printed once a week in the newspaper. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with this," and he just leaves. It was great. But yeah, Moreland was a great villain, and I'd like to see him be the main villain of Into the Spider-Verse 2.
That's another one they got coming. I forgot about that. No.
Yeah.
Some point. Yeah, guys. So let us know what you think of the Morbius and No Time to Die pushes in the comments below. Let us know if you think it's a good move. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna review this. I'm gonna review Mank. And then we're going to go into the non-spoiler. Actually, I have an announcement after Mank. Then we're going to go into the WandaVision spoiler review. And then I'm going to, kind of give an overview of where I'm at in the High Republic novel. So here we go. So Mank. So this is directed by David Fincher. I mean, David Fincher is one of the directors with one of the greatest resumes out there. I mean, I love him. I mean, everything from Seven, Zodiac, even that basic movie Panic Room. I mean, he's really made some great flicks. Social Networks. I mean, everything this guy does has been amazing. I think for the most part, and yeah, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time. So the premise of Mank, it follows Howard Mank. They call him Mank. It's like Mankiewicz or something like that. But he is the screenwriter for Citizen Kane, obviously one of the greatest films of all time. He is played by Gary Oldman in this movie. And now one of the things that intrigues me about this movie is it definitely takes place in old Hollywood. Obviously, it's from the like I said, it kind of takes place from the screenwriter's perspective for Citizen Kane. Amanda Seyfried's in this movie too. She does a really good job. Gary Oldman absolutely destroys as Mank. There's also you got a lot of really great names in there. Whoever played Orson Welles in this movie did a phenomenal job. Like it really I was so convinced that he was Orson Welles. He might get like a best supporting nod for this coming Oscar season, but yeah, man, I mean this movie was great. You can find it on Netflix. One of the other things that intrigued me about it, and one of the things that Fincher decided to do, was to kind of take the not only is it like a story about the making of Citizen Kane, but it's almost like a tribute to Citizen Kane, because the style of the way it's shot is very Citizen Kane, and the way it's made. I mean, it's good. The tone of it is Citizen Kane, which I find to be pretty cool, and you don't really get that a lot. Yeah.
I don't know what Citizen Kane is. I'm sorry.
You never seen Citizen Kane?
No.
Oh.
It's one of the greatest films of all time, like hands down. I mean,
Everybody considers it to be like 10 out of 10 perfect.
It is
movie.
pretty perfect. I mean, without a doubt. And I mean, I was really just interested in watching. I mean, some of the aspects of this. I mean, that really interested me is just kind of listening to Gary Oldman playing Mank. You know, kind of going through how he wrote the film, and it was a really incredible kind of experience. And I mean, there are points that I'm watching it and I forget that it's a movie that came out in 2021 or 2020. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of a something that would have came out back in the day for Citizen Kane. I highly recommend Mank, Netflix. I think it's there's no doubt in my mind it's a Best Picture contender at least, and I think it's going to be really it's really something that a lot of people are going to be talking about. The only other recommendation I have for it is watching Citizen Kane prior to watching this, because you will have a higher appreciation for this film if you watch Citizen Kane first. Even if you've seen Citizen Kane before, watch Citizen Kane in front of this anyway. It just this works as a wonderful companion piece if you're a Citizen Kane fan, and I think that both movies they go hand in hand almost now. And I'm probably always going to put this on after I watch Citizen Kane now, which is another great thing that I could say about this. I mean, I think I'm not going to go A+. I mean, if I were to give it a grade, I guess it'd be like an A. I won't go A+, but it still is really fantastic. Nice companion piece with Citizen Kane. And just something I recommend to everybody who's a fan of old Hollywood and all that kind of shit. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you thought of Mank in the comment section below, and I would appreciate that, and I would love to talk to some people about it, because I was really impressed by this film, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously. Just go watch it for yourself if you're a fan of old Hollywood and things like that. So anyway, so like I said, guys, we're going to kind of get into some spoiler territory with WandaVision here, but before we do that, I do have a quick announcement I want to make here. Next week, we will be ceasing all video production on the channel. Ian, we're going to be off, just so you know. We will not be making any shows next week. It's just we're going to take a week off. I got too much I got to do for this, and I want to get caught up on all that, and I'm going to use the whole week to do it instead of trying to cram all my shit into one day, because I feel like that's how I fall behind. I'm going to get caught up on all the short form stuff, so you guys will see some short form stuff at least pop up. But when it comes to the podcasts, we will not be having any next week, and then we'll come back the week after, probably with Rebels season 4 review. If there's any big breaking massive news that pops up, I'll probably just hop on and do a 25-minute deal if there's anything that big that I need to talk about. And then also next week, instead of, because I know a lot of people are going to be wondering, well, what about WandaVision next week, talking about that? Well, what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to cram 3 and 4 in episodes 3 and 4 for WandaVision in next week, instead of taking it week by week. And then we'll get back on track and everything will be caught up. So just want to let you guys know, Ian, so enjoy your week off. We're just no video production next week, and we'll come back the week after. So thanks. So yeah,
looks like we have some stuff to talk about after this.
Perhaps
nothing negative. I was just curious as to what's going on.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, listen, so here we go. We're going to talk about WandaVision, and I was really looking forward to this.
Spoiler warning.
Spoilers, absolutely. And I was really looking forward to this. I was looking forward to what it would be like for the MCU to kind of take on the streaming platform. So let's talk about this first episode. This was this show, by the way, it's created by Jay Schofer, I believe, is the showrunner on this. Just so everybody knows. But yeah, let's talk about this first episode. Yeah, Ian, I want to get your thoughts. What did you think of the first episode?
It was very off-putting at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I'm not gonna like this, am I? But I was like, I gotta give it a shot. I gotta give it the actual shot, because I'm not a fan of like sitcoms like that. I think like I enjoyed watching I Love Lucy back in the day, but that was like forever ago, and I wasn't, even then I was still not really a fan of it. It was just something to watch at daycare. So watching it was off-putting because of the idea of it, and then when stuff would start to hit the fan, I want to say, and technicality, it would hit the fan. Stuff would start to hit the fan. You'd be like, excuse me,
Yeah.
hold on, and then you get to like the main plot, and you'd be like, oh, okay, I like this. I like the idea. And black and white films, I'm not big on black and white films. They're hard for me to get through, and I actually genuinely enjoyed the black and white aspect of this. I liked the idea.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, if anything, I mean, because to me, it's like, I did definitely grow up on a lot of black and white sitcoms. I mean, this definitely has that I Love Lucy thing going on to it, but it's also very much like Bewitched. It reminded me of a little bit
Yes.
more, and that's
it's very reminiscent of these old sitcoms.
It's one of my favorite 50s like sitcoms is Bewitched for sure. So like it's one of my guilty pleasures, I suppose, and so like the fact that they were able to capture that so perfectly in this first episode, and just so everybody knows, I lost everybody here. Oh, did we lose Chris?
My bad.
No, you just lost Chris.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, but just so like everybody knows, the first episode, except for like the very end, is like the whole thing is definitely very sitcom. You know what I mean? It's very 50s sitcom, and
it was good.
They don't really take away from that. And yeah, and I mean, how great? I mean, was Paul Bettany and I mean, they're always great, but this is they had to be great in a new way. Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen playing in the 50s sitcom kind of world, and I think that actually takes a lot more skill than people realize, like that kind of acting, because you kind of got to rework probably everything you know about acting, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
and you could tell that they really studied like these 50s sitcoms to pull this off.
They really did, because there was a lot of scenes where I was seeing like even like this is kind of cut into the second episode, but like you see like when they're in the beds, the separate beds, and they push the beds together, because like back in the day, separate beds are where it was supposed to be, because they didn't want to portray sexual interaction whatsoever on TV. And then after that, whenever they'd have people in beds, it'd be like foot or hand hanging down on the one side of the bed. Yeah. So it was really cool seeing that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, man, I fucking love this show so far. I mean, I just enjoyed the man, like I was saying, the chemistry and just like and all those things that you were mentioning too, about just like, you know, they just studied, you know what I mean? You could just tell it was so carefully done.
The direction style,
everything was carefully done, exactly. And it was just I mean, if you're if you're a fan of some of the older sitcoms, and you know, I think like I was saying, it very much Bewitched vibe, I think, in these first two. But I think we're gonna go a little more Brady Bunch now, at the just judging by the end of the
that's exactly what I thought it was gonna be.
Which is gonna be kind of cool also.
I like the Brady Bunch.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah. And I think that's going to be cool also, and I can't wait to see them just keep capturing these vibes, and for the two main performers to keep kind of reworking, you know, the way they have to perform to match kind of what they're trying to go for. I think that's one of the most exciting things about the show. Now, one of the things that's really, really cool, and I don't know if you felt the same, but as you're watching it, you're getting definitely that they've captured the 50s sitcom charm so perfectly.
They did.
But there's also
the intros.
But there's also, oh yeah, the intros, Jesus Christ, so we can get into that too. They were amazing.
They were off-putting too.
Well, that's one of the things. Off-putting is a good word, because I felt like in both episodes that even though I'm watching this, there's this charm to it, and I'm really loving the performances, and it's making me happy. Like I feel like there's a dark overtone over.
Yes. Even the intros just felt absolutely dark.
And I think it's because you're kind of feeling rewarded for getting to know these characters so much throughout the MCU that now you're like, well, this ain't right. You know what I mean? And so like it creates
weird about this.
Right. It just creates this dark overtone to this very charming thing, and they balanced it all so well. Let's talk about. I want to talk about. I think this is in the second episode, the dinner table scene. Get into that a little bit, Ian, if you will.
That's first episode.
Is it? Okay, so get into that.
You're talking about where he starts choking?
Where his boss comes over. That's right. It is the first one, because that's where we really dive into his job and everything. And,
well, yeah. Let's cut to this whole heart thing first. Can we do that? Or do you want to cover this first?
Heart thing.
On the calendar, there's a heart.
I didn't know that. Go into that real quick, please.
You didn't know that? That's like the first thing they mentioned in the episode.
Go into it.
So, whenever they start off the episode, they're all sweet and happy together, and he's like, "Do you know what today is?" And she's like,
Right.
yeah, I know what today is. What about today? He's like, there's a heart in the calendar.
That's right. That's right. That's
And
right.
they keep mentioning it.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
And this is the one thing that where you really start to feel that off-putting feel.
Yes.
But you don't know it yet. You don't know it's off-putting.
You're right. I know exactly what you're talking about now. The heart on the calendar. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So it's so off-putting. They're just second guessing themselves throughout the whole episode. They're like, yeah, today is our anniversary of what? Today. Yeah, today.
Right.
You know, they're going through, and then it cuts to his job, and we see him kind of do his thing, and and the side piece we see her talking to this Agnes character, I believe was her name.
Yeah,
if I'm correct.
Catherine Hahn played her. She did a great job too in the show. By the way,
I liked her character.
Yeah, me too.
But we see Agnes here, and you can tell that Wanda is still trying to second guess like what's going on, and Agnes is trying to just give her ideas, which leads up to the point of the dinner table, the dinner scene, which is I liked it leading up, because that was very I Love Lucy vibes to it, or Bewitched vibes to it.
Yeah.
So you see her kind of second guessing herself, and then like after we see Vision kind of do his little calculating shit, and he makes up his small talk, he's like, yeah, there's something special about today. Excuse me. There's something special about today. I don't know what it was. Mm-hmm. And then the Hartman, I believe that was the name of the boss. I believe it's Hartman. It was Hart something. He comes in and he's like, hey, we had a dinner, blah, 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 this and that. And then Vision tries to make the connection to that being as to what that Hart was about today.
Yeah.
But it was like right before that he was like, I don't know what today was supposed to be, and then Hartman comes, and then they make the connection at the dinner scene that it's supposed to be Hartman. I knew all along, but really he didn't.
Yeah, thanks for making that reminded me of that. I just forgot about it for some reason.
No, not a problem. It's just like that's like one of the big things to where it's like, okay, there's something really off with this world, because like the moment he's there, he's like, yeah, it was supposed to be Hartman. Like, how did you not know?
Right.
Like semi scolding her in his way, and because he didn't know, he still doesn't know.
Yeah.
So since I haven't seen the show or anything, sorry.
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
I'm curious.
I want to hear this. Yeah.
So I haven't seen the show, obviously, but I'm all right with spoilers. But like, you keep saying like this world, are they like trapped in some kind of universe or world?
It feels like they're just trapped in the sitcom. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels like they're trapped in the sitcom, but I have a theory.
I think hearing them being trapped in a world or whatever makes me think that this might tie into the second Doctor Strange movie.
Well, Feige already said it's going to.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Feige already said that this is...
Oh, yeah, then...
He said that the WandaVision's being used to set up Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but...
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I have a couple
so
theories,
Chris...
All right,
go
that
ahead.
makes sense.
Go ahead, Ian.
Chris, do not spoil anything that like on how it should lead up, because if you know, you know.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be surprised by this. I love that. This is one of my favorite things about the show, is I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's one of my favorite things about it.
That's what's making it so good. It's kind of like, Dom, go watch Westworld. Go watch Westworld.
Okay.
Anyway, so you too, Chris. So they're leading up to this point. And he's like, it's supposed to be Hartman, blah blah blah. We get to the dinner table, we get. I gotta mention the scene where she comes up. Guess who? Because it ties back in at the end of the episode, and I love it. But guess who turns on the light? Then he goes scolds her, and which, Chris, when you watch it, it'll be very funny to you. So we get to the dinner table, and they're asking questions, and they seem so confused, and And like they're like, when did we get married? Where are we from? All this stuff. And Hartman's over there like, tell me, damn it, tell me. He starts choking, and then they're both like just lost in the static, bro. They're just both absolutely lost in the static, and you're like, hello, hello, do something, and it's very intense. You're just like, do something about this stupid fucking old fat man. Do something about him. Stop just staring like, what the fuck. And you have I can't think of her name right now.
Our girl from that 70s show, right?
Yes.
Like, she's in there.
Yes.
She just keeps saying the same thing over and over again. It's like a broken record.
Kitty's actor. Stop it.
Right.
Stop
it's like
it.
a broken record.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And you can tell like there's this agonizing pain on her face, but she's still smiling with that 50s sitcom like smile, and it's
creepy.
so creepy. Yes, it's absolutely creepy, and you're like, ugh, why? Do something about the man. So she stops.
Yeah.
So he stops it. She stops it. But finally, Wanda's like, this is where things start to piece together for me for my theory. I'm going to tell you after we're done reviewing the episodes, because I feel like my theory comes from both of these episodes coming out. But we see Wanda just kind of turn and be like, help him. And she has this commanding like sense about her. So I have a theory about it. I won't mention it yet. But anyway, we see Vision get on top of him, reach in his throat, with his Vision powers, just grab, this item out of his throat that he's choking on. I think it was steak. I think they were eating steak. Not really important.
No, breakfast food. Remember, they had to make breakfast food because
that
they were
was
going to
it.
have
So it was
something
probably
else,
a piece of bacon. It's probably a piece of bacon. But anyway, he pulls out, and they get up all like, oh, it's all fine. Kitty acts like she didn't just watch any of this happen. And then Hartman's just like, you did fantastic. I love it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And it's so off-putting. Like, why did they just ignore everything that just happened? Why did they just jump right back into the 50s sitcom show? And they walk out and, everything's fine and dandy. And you're like, no, it is not fine and dandy. What the hell?
Well, we got to talk about the pull away too, where the camera pans out and then it's somebody's just watching them on TV. That reveal was kind of interesting.
Hold on. Did you notice Vision did something whenever they were making up being all funny and dandy. He did something with some type of remote or clicker.
Yeah, I saw it. I
didn't know what the fuck
too.
that was.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. And that's the thing. There's so many subtle little things in there that like,
I rewinded it 5 times trying to figure out what the fuck it was. That took away from my break.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it was, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, what do you think it's in? For Ian specifically, do you think it's in an alternate timeline? Do you think that's what they're stuck in?
No.
Okay, because my theory is this.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I have a theory, and it doesn't have to do with an alternate timeline. It has to do with something else. But that was a good guess. Go on. I'm sorry. I was like, no, don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin my theory.
Well, with Chris being the Marvel fan, with the comics and everything, maybe I have a small theory. I don't think it's going to be what you think it is, Ian. I think we're going to have very different opinions on this, but
I already know we are.
Chris, I think, is going to be able to maybe help me, figure out how this is, like a possibility, being such a fan of the comics, if it is even possible.
Ooh,
but I actually think,
Before we have him give input on either theory, let's have him hear both theories first. Okay. I want to see if he knows if anybody's close. If he knows.
Oh, very good. Yeah, that's a better idea.
Discuss the theory, though. The theory, though.
Well, the way I'm thinking of it, I'm probably oversimplifying it quite a bit, obviously. But I think when we look back at Infinity War and when she lost Vision, it was such a tragic thing on her, and I think that this is the world that she's created for herself.
Never mind. We have the same theory.
To preserve Vision. Do we really?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, Chris, who's closer? I'm just kidding.
Actually, now that I've heard about the whole, Kevin Feige saying this is going to lead into the Doctor Strange multiverse movie, and knowing what I know from Infinity War, where
hold on, don't say we're right. Just say if we're close or not.
I think you guys are close. Okay. I'm not really a big fan of Vision and Wanda. The only thing I really know of Wanda is from X-Men comics.
Right.
But from what I know and what I've read in the comics, you guys are actually, I think, pretty close.
Okay. Because that was my thought this whole time, is that she's created this world on her own to preserve him, to preserve his memory. But on the same hand, like, how would that be possible though? Like, because her powers don't really extend that far, do they? Because like I'm trying to think of what she's doing to, does she have the, like, no, she couldn't have the reality stone.
She's actually very, very powerful.
She's the second strongest Marvel character, I believe.
So you think that this is something that they just haven't revealed in this iteration of it? Then probably.
Yeah, I believe so. But she is very powerful, and I think she's powerful enough to do that kind of thing. She's worked with Doctor Strange and stuff. So this might lead into something pretty big.
Chris, would I be correct in saying that she is the second strongest? Because there's also the Fantastic Four's Reeve Richards' son. I can't remember his name.
Franklin Richards.
Yeah, I count him as the strongest.
Yeah, he's literally like a god.
Yeah.
He created an entire galaxy in his hands when he was like 5 years old.
Yeah. So I mean, like, under him, I so far, even though I don't really care for Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, I should say, I still recognize her as being very strong. So to answer myself, I think that she could definitely do this. Chris has answered, he thinks she could do this as well.
I think maybe this is like some kind of thing to show like how strong she is, but she doesn't know it yet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the other thing that I want to throw in as kind of an added bonus to my theory that I think that is a very big possibility is I think this Agnes character knows. She helped her do it, I bet.
Yes. Hold on. There's 2 characters I think no. 2. No, 3. I'm saying
3 characters no?
Yeah. I think 3 characters are in on this. I believe it's Agnes, Dottie, and the what was it? Glenvelle? The black woman.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
I think all 3 of them know.
I think that it's possible. I don't know.
What's that last name you said?
Glendale.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
it's Monica Rambeau, isn't it? Isn't that who that is?
I think
I don't know.
I'm thinking I know who you guys are talking about.
Ian, look up for me who
we gave him 3 names.
Ian, look up for me who played Monica Rambeau in Captain Marvel, and then tell me if that's the same person that plays Glendale. In
Monica Rambeau?
Yeah, in Captain Marvel, and then tell me if it's the same one that plays the Glendale character. Because if it is, it's Monica Rambeau. I mean, that's just. Yeah, I think that the Agnes character is definitely in on this, and I think that.
Oh my God!
Is it?
Hold on. I'm trying to see. It doesn't necessarily say her. It has 3. Oh, okay. It shows played by, and under Teyana Paris.
Right, Teyana Paris.
It shows it's played by Teyana Paris, and it shows WandaVision under her name.
Right, but does it show the character she plays in WandaVision?
Yeah, I didn't even think about fucking doing that.
Yeah,
I'm
find
stupid.
that out because I want to see what they name her as. Because if it's this Glendale character, because I think that was the same. I think that's her. I'm pretty positive. And then so it's Monica Rambeau. So I don't know how she would be in on it. Well, she would have to be though. I don't know. It's so weird to me. How is she connected? Yeah, that's the confusion here. But I think that the payoff when we get it's going to be so sweet. Let's talk about the second episode too. So I think that it is, isn't it?
No. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have looked this up because it just spoiled a lot of things for me just by looking up the cast.
Oh, okay.
It spoiled way too much. Okay, I can't say.
Are there other people that have shown up in the past?
I can't say. Dom,
Fuck.
I'm not saying. Don't fucking look it up either. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. I'm mad that I looked at and I can't look away. This is the worst thing in the world.
Can you at least answer my question?
I don't feel comfortable answering the question.
It's Monica Rambeau, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. At least give me that. I mean, because I knew that.
Her name. Her name in the show is like Glendella or some shit like that, but it is Monica Rambeau.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. That's
I
all
didn't
need
want
to
to
know.
answer because it's because it says Monica Rambeau on the cast.
Right, so she's probably in on all this somehow.
So
yeah,
I was right in possibly guessing her, but
I'm calling it. Captain Marvel shows up in this thing, and Doctor Strange.
well,
I think they both
hold
do.
on, not even them. I think also Chris Evans.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that because that's where I was going to go. Yeah, I think that this is where Chris Evans is showing up at some point, or at least this is going to lead to his showing up. The radio, right? That was him, wasn't it?
I recognized the voice. I didn't know whose voice that was.
It was Cap.
I just remember hearing, Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda? Who's doing this to you?
It was
but
Cap.
we're jumping along. We're jumping along. It was either Cap or it was somebody else we know. And I think it was the other person. I don't think it was Cap.
Who do you think it was?
So the only reason I guessed this is because I was talking to my friend Ethan about this, about the pops that were released. The pops didn't spoil anything for me, except for one thing: Quicksilver.
Oh,
The WandaVision pops released a Quicksilver.
I forgot
pop.
about that leak that came out forever ago with the pops. That's right. I did know about that.
So it's either Chris Evans, Captain America, or it's Quicksilver.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say what.
Oh, wait a minute though. Do you remember the what that also leaked though along the way? Because not only was it Quicksilver, it was the Evan Peters.
FX.
Evan Peters.
Yes.
Quicksilver.
I didn't want to say that.
I don't know if they have him in already though. I think that was so. It sounded just like Captain America, but
it was hard to hear for me because I was also on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go back and listen, but I'm thinking it was Evan Peters.
I think.
Okay. It was an Evan Peters pop, and
yeah, I remember the leak.
Evan. Yeah, I don't want to say. I don't want to say anymore because then I'm spoiling. I'm spoiling more than what I need to spoil.
Fair enough. Yeah, man, I liked the second episode though. Dug it just as much. I mean, this is where we first saw that intro, which was pretty cool.
The second intro, technically.
Right. Well, they did like two different ones. I'm sorry, and then this is the second one that was.
I think they're going to continue to do two different ones.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, this one was much more Bewitched. I mean, that was the vibe I got off this one. Definitely was a clear rip off of that, and
the first one just felt more I Love Lucy to me.
Yeah.
You think every episode is gonna,
sitcom.
be a parody of an old sitcom?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we think the next one's going to be Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do Brady Bunch. Yeah, the first one was I Love Lucy. Second one Bewitched, probably Brady Bunch. But I also think that they're gonna use the influence of everything into everything to make it feel, you know what I mean, like more connected at the same time. Like there's gonna be influence from all sitcoms and all of them. But I get what you're saying for sure. And I think that I mean, oh man,
I wonder. Did I Love Lucy come out before Bewitched?
Yeah.
And did Bewitched come out before the Brady Bunch?
Yes.
Maybe they're going to,
They're following generations.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
It's slowly going to go back to color, and I think it's going to get more serious as it goes to color.
Let's talk about this episode then, because we just said we love the episode. We didn't talk about the episode.
I mean, do you want to talk about the guy in the sewer?
I want to talk about everything.
This
episode is what like really kicked off all my theories about, she's in her head. She's just in her head and like created a whole world, and it's like leaked out.
Or a universe.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the episode, we have this comedic sketch of like a loud noise, and Wanda's like, "The fuck was that?" She keeps turning it on and turning off the light next to Vision to wake him up.
Right.
So finally he wakes up, he gets all scared and stuff, and then he gets up, he's like, "Oh, it's probably nothing." And the bang happens again. He jumps in the bed, and the fucking beds come together.
Yeah.
Which was breaking the barrier of that 50s or 40s feel.
Right.
With the I Love Lucy area where they were like beds have to be separated.
Right.
Which again, another awesome aspect. But anyway, back into it. Then they see it's just a a fucking, what is it? A tree branch hitting the window, but the bang was like much louder than what it needed to be for a window hit.
Yeah.
And you know it is. So then we go through the episode and they're like planning. They show that in that second intro they've made, which is cool. And then they're planning for some magic trick thing, which ties back in together with some things. By the way, Chris, they're trying to hide their powers. We didn't give you that aspect. They're trying to hide their powers.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the Bewitched thing. You know, it was kind of like, you know, how Samantha and Bewitched, you know, she doesn't want anybody to know, obviously, you know, that she has the powers.
So are they playing it up for comedy in the...
Yeah, definitely,
awesome.
definitely. It works really well.
It's so fun, and I suggest watching this the moment we're off here, honestly. I might
cool.
I might go back and watch them.
I kind of want to watch them again, too, now that we're talking about it, but yeah.
But
if you guys invite me back to the show, I will come back more prepared and actually watch all these episodes.
Oh yeah, we gave you short notice, so you're good.
I will come in with all kinds of theories when I watch this.
So we get through this magic trick thing where they're making jokes and stuff, and then she's like off to do her thing. Vision leaves to go meet with the what is it, the city watch or the neighborhood watch or some shit.
Right.
Shares the shit with them, and he makes this comment like, "I don't eat food. My bad. I don't eat food between meals."
When the gears were spinning, this stuff was pretty good.
Yes,
this is great.
He hands him some gum, and the gum gets stuck in. And then we cut to Wanda, and Wanda's leaving the house.
I wanted to describe this to Chris because it was just so funny because what they every time like it got kind of stuck into his gears, they would show these like cartoon gears with the piece of gum between it just getting stuck, and it was making him act out
worse and worse and worse. Hold on, I wanted to cut that.
You're fine.
Okay, so I wanted to cut back to that eventually. So, we cut to Wanda, and she's walking to her bushes, and she sees some colorized thing in her bush, and she's like, "What the fuck? What is that?" And she's looking at it, and you can tell that everything's starting to disconnect in her head, and she's starting to like lose sense of reality, even though this isn't reality, but you can tell that she's like losing sense of reality of that reality. And then fucking Agnes comes up. It was a helicopter. Sorry, it was like a little toy helicopter. Agnes comes up, and she's like, "Hey!" And it scares the shit out of Wanda, and all of a sudden the helicopter's out of mind. Like, we don't think about the helicopter again.
Out of sight, out of mind. Right.
Yeah. I mean, like, you see her look back out of curiosity, but it's out of sight, out of mind.
Uh-huh.
You don't even see the helicopter after that.
Oh yeah.
So they're making small talk about going to go see the queen bee of the neighborhood, and in comes Dottie. Essentially, they go and hang out with her, and they keep talking about how this talent show they're doing that they made the magic tricks for is for the children. Dom, say it with me. For the children.
And who's saying that?
Dottie. And then everybody else is following in league.
Right.
You know what, Dom, since you want to watch the episode again, I want to watch the episode again. Do you want to do a watch along with Chris?
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Anyway,
well, I can't right now. I have work in the morning, so I'll just watch it when I get home from work.
Bitch.
Go ahead though.
So anyway, we have this whole thing of like for the children. Everything's off put, and Wanda is the only person who's offbeat, along with we know her name now, but Monica.
Right.
Monica's a slight bit offbeat, but she's unnoticed offbeat. Yeah.
It's not really a spoiler. I knew it was her, but sorry, go ahead.
I know, but anybody else who like, I didn't watch Captain Marvel. I'm sorry, but anybody else who did,
I really enjoyed it. But anyway.
It was fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
So, if people aren't really paying attention to, like, you have a good eye. I don't know how everybody else would. So, I mean, like, if people weren't paying attention, they wouldn't know it's her. So people, they're just, everybody's in sync on this. Every time they say for the children, it's all together.
Yeah.
Every time they do something, it's all together in a very creepy aura.
It's like a fucking cult.
Yeah. And then we cut to Wanda helping clean up after their little meeting, and they're just talking shit to each other, kind of, and all of a sudden the radio in the background is playing, and you just hear Wanda,
Right.
who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda.
Right.
And they both stare at the radio, and it gets more and more intense. And then finally, something just like, I don't know what exactly happened. I didn't get the chance to really check, like, understand what happened, but something like booped. We lost Chris.
Yep.
Sorry, it's my phone
You're
dying.
fine.
Chris booped with the Wanda. But anyway, something booped. And when it booped, fucking Dottie crushes this glass in her hand, and she has blood, and the blood is colorized. And Wanda's like, what the fuck? And then Dottie just looks at her all normal, and she's like, you know what a housewife does to a blood stain?
Right.
You know how she cleans it?
Right.
She does it herself.
Right.
And walks off like it's all normal. And Wanda's like, what the fuck? Excuse me? So then we get to the point where they're like, she just cuts away. She's like, that was weird. And they're doing the talent show thing, and she's talking to the Monica. She's talking to her about everything because they made friends at this fucking meeting. And she's like, I don't know where Vision is. Like, what the fuck? And Vision comes up finally, and he's all like, he's essentially drunk because this fucking piece of gum stuck in his gears. He's like, all right, I make it.
That was amazing.
Bumps into,
Yes.
he did a great job. Bumps into a fucking handrail, and he's like, oh, sorry about that. So this is where everything kind of makes the connect again. They're supposed to be on now to do some magic tricks, and he's out of his mind, and he starts doing his actual magic tricks instead of his fake magic tricks. And Wanda's having to cover for him every 2 seconds, pulling some bewitched shit or I Love Genie shit, making stuff pop up as fast as possible to make sense of, oh, this is faked. I wasn't supposed to show you that. You're not supposed to know why this trick is what the trick is. And it kind of gives you this sense of, stop, you're making my anxiety roll. And every time they do something that makes the crowd think that's not natural,
Right.
the whole crowd is just dead.
Yeah.
And this is almost like watching a horror film that you're trapped in, but you can't escape. Yeah. And it's like, it's a horror film where everybody feels everything is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not.
Oh yeah.
That's how it feels.
Didn't they say that? I know we're talking about WandaVision, but they also said that since, sorry, scatterbrained again, Doctor Strange 2, they said that isn't that going to be more horror based? So maybe that ties in with this.
I believe it. I believe they did.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's a good point, because I mean, definitely, I never actually thought of it that way, Chris, because it's like, I mean, you got Sam Raimi, for crying out loud, directing Doctor Strange 2, and so I mean, this feels very Sam Raimi, the show, and so it makes sense that it would tie right into it. Yeah.
So he has to be talking to this director.
So this might be like a hint or a taste of what we're gonna see in the Doctor Strange movie, a horror setting.
Right. That's a good point.
Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for what the show is like now.
Well, think like okay, so like that. This is the best way I could describe it, but I think of this every time I think about what the show is. But in It Chapter 2, when she goes to that lady's house and she's talking to her, and she's like, it's like a natural conversation, then all of a sudden the lady like gets quiet and then just like starts smiling at her. There are so many moments that are just like that in the show. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like everything just feels natural. It feels fine. It feels like it's a sitcom, and all of a sudden you feel like
you get these moments.
Why?
I'm so glad I get off pretty early tomorrow. I am going to binge those 2 episodes.
It's awesome.
Oh, they're like 38 minutes a piece. They're not all hard to binge at all. That's why I was saying, like, let's watch them tonight. But
and at the end of this episode, oh, sorry, go ahead. You had more to say.
So we get to that, and we're pretty much at the end now, because like everything's fine. Oh, wait. So at one point they have like one of those magician's boxes where they hide in the back of the box.
Well, you didn't talk about the guy in the sewer. That. You missed that.
No, not yet.
Oh yeah, that's
not
right.
yet.
Sorry,
we're not there yet. We're still during the magic show.
You're actually right. Mm-hmm.
So, he brings the box out, and he's like, "Now I'll make my wife disappear." Yeah. And he like shuts the door, and
Just
he's
like
like,
that.
"Ah!" And she's like on the other side of the box, like, what the fuck? She
Yeah.
looks at him, he's like, honey. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, hi. And he's like, oh. And everybody's like, who's in the box? Who's in the box? It's almost like the scene from Seven. What's in the box?
Right.
But anyway, and he's like, who is in the box?
Yeah.
That fucking killed me when he said that. I'm not gonna lie. And then she just snaps her finger, and Monica's in the box. They open the door.
Right.
Monica's in the box,
Right.
and she makes a point. She's the only person who's really noticed too. She makes a point. She's like, can you explain something to me, please? Like after they get awarded something for their performance, and she's like, can you explain something to me, please? 1 second, I was on, in the back, just writing down what I need to write down, and all of a sudden, I'm in a dark cubby.
Yeah.
And he's like, I leave the secrets up to my assistant. And she's like, well, I'm never going to tell. But clearly, she's going to tell her.
Yeah.
In the future, like the moment they introduced her character, I was like, this is going to be her proxy to, vent. This is her venting proxy.
Right.
So then we cut to they're at home, they get home, and they're talking about For the Kids and stuff like that. And then a bang happens.
Yep, again, paralleling the one from the beginning when the tree hit the...
Wait a second. Hold on. I'm missing something. I'm missing something, I think. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking.
Didn't you talk to me earlier about some guy with a symbol on
Yes.
his back?
Yes, but I'm debating on whether I'm at the right part yet.
Yeah, you're good.
This is the right part.
Sounds
but
right.
It's the way the scene is set up. I think it cuts to this first. Yeah, okay, so it has to cut to this first. So there's a bang while they're talking about For the Kids, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they go outside and they're looking for something, and then you see down the street there's a sewer lid, and it's getting lifted up and moved, and a guy gets out and he has a beekeeper outfit on, bees all around him. I spent hours searching to see if there's any relevance. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And I couldn't find anything. And I realized he has a symbol on his back. He had a fucking symbol of a sword and a circle around the sword.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to ask Chris about this.
Oh,
and Chris
yeah.
delved into this. Chris, would you like to tell him what you told me? Because I don't know how much he knows about this.
Yeah.
So
tell me this.
He told me about the symbol with the sword and the circle inside the circle, and I immediately thought of the organization that is parallel to the Shield, which is called Sword.
Okay.
And what they do is what it stands for is Sentient World Observation and Response Department. So something about like protecting the universe, and it primarily the characters that deal with Sword are X-Men.
Yeah.
So they got Wolverine. I had to look it up, but it says that Wolverine is mostly part of it. Beast, Cyclops, all of them.
Yeah.
Everything that they're involved in is mostly 99.9% X-Men.
Yeah.
So, I think this might be a tie into an X-Men movie.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you cleared that up for me. I thought it was just a guy who was trying to avoid getting COVID, but I mean, I honestly though, Feige's got this stuff planned out. I think that he could say that, we're not going to do the X-Men anytime soon, all he wants. But I think that it makes a lot of sense that I think that when the X-Men drop, it's going to be a surprise. You know what I mean? He's going to do it in his own way and all that.
All I have to say is they had a pop release of Evan Peters.
Right.
Not the Quicksilver from the regular universe. They had a pop of Evan Peters.
Right.
They were specific about it. They didn't release the pop of the Civil War Quicksilver, and I think that's like huge.
Yeah.
One movie.
Yeah, he only had one movie. I mean, but I think that's huge, and this is a huge spoiler to everybody. I didn't want to say, but Evan Peters is definitely in the casting. I just looked. He's in the fucking casting. He's right there, and he's in the top. He's not at the bottom. He's right there in between Wanda and Vision's actors.
What website was that?
That was it. What do you mean?
Where was he in the casting? Where were you looking?
I'm looking at the casting in general.
Right, but what website?
I mean, it's just Google.
Okay.
But the way Google does things is they list the actors and their relevance. Like
Gotcha.
every time I've done it, their relevance is absolute, like what their character is and what impact their character has.
So it might have been him over the radio.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is Evan Peters the one from Days of Future Past?
Yeah. That
Yes,
Quicksilver.
yes.
Oh, great!
Right.
Now I have to watch all those X-Men movies again.
No, you just need to watch the ones with him in it.
No, I'm just kidding. Apocalypse is one of them, but it's all right. I didn't hate Apocalypse like a lot of people did, but sidetrack. But go ahead.
So we see him come out of the grate, and we this, you know, after talking to Chris, I was like, oh my god, everything, you know, it has to be this, has to be that, and I'm like theorizing, and then we're having this conversation about
it makes a lot of
like,
sense.
Evan Peters, but it could still very well be Chris Evans. It doesn't show him on the casting.
I'll just say it sounded more like him to me, but I get what you're saying.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't list Chris Evans on the casting, but it could definitely be Chris Evans.
Well, with the
It could
report that
definitely be
came
Chris
out,
Evans.
you know, I mean, it's
Oh, yeah.
it just seems more possible now, but who knows?
But Chris Evans could also be brought in on the Loki show.
Yeah, but well, he is in that timeline, so that actually makes a lot of sense too. You know.
So, I after kind of talking with Chris, this is definitely going to be their way of, one, breaking into Doctor Strange 2, but two, breaking into the Marvel mutants.
Right.
I think that my theory now that
Excuse me.
from what I've heard, I think since we went from just normal one universe cosmic threat being Thanos and, you know, snapping half the universe, I think everything is pointing to a multiverse threat. So we're seeing Into the Spider-Verse where all these universes are coming together. We got the Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield and
I can't think of his name either.
oh my god, I am so sorry. I am so sorry, Spider-Man. I love
Tobey
I love
Maguire?
those movies.
Yes, Tobey Maguire.
Yes, I'm so sorry. It was on the tip of my tongue.
We're sorry, Toby.
X-Men, you know, with Evan Peters, you know, with Sword technically being an X-Men property.
Right.
I think this is just they're gonna bring in every single Marvel universe we've ever had
So
and just make one giant Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So here's something. Do you think this is just a quick question because I want to jump into the end of this episode of WandaVision?
Yeah.
But do you think they might do what they did in part of the comics where they collapsed the universes in on themselves and melded the characters together?
Oh yeah, to me, I think they're gonna do something huge like that.
Because they did a Spider-Man Moon Knight meld, didn't they? I think they did. It was Spider-Man and Moon Knight, I believe.
I love Moon Knight. He's the Batman of the Marvel universe. But
Yeah. Which aren't we getting a Moon Knight series?
Yeah, I mean, the rumors are that Oscar Isaac's playing him.
we're getting a Moon Knight. Oh shit,
Yeah.
dude! Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, it's supposedly it's going to be Oscar Isaac playing Moon Knight, but
Hell yeah.
yeah.
So I think they might meld all the universes into one at the end when they're finally feeling like they're done with these Marvel's movies. I feel like they're gonna end them off by melding the universes into one, or even having the Asgardian realms war.
Oh yeah, the war of the something.
The realms. I mean,
War of the Realms. That was a big
Ethan
moment.
and you talked to me about that. So jumping into the end of this the episode of WandaVision, so the guy comes out and they're both staring at it, and Vision's just like, what the fuck? And Wanda's like, no, in a demanding tone that makes you like kind of like fucking chill. Chill, Becky. Shit. And all of a sudden everything just reverses to that point right before the bang, and they're saying for the children, and they get up and she's turning around and Vision's like, Wanda.
Yeah.
And you pans down and Wanda has a belly.
Yeah. she's pregnant out of nowhere.
Oh shit, we're definitely getting Wiccan and Speed. Hell yeah.
I couldn't wait to talk to you about this one, Chris, because when you
Hell
said that, I
yeah.
was like, oh shit. I didn't want to say it, but with you not watching the shows like I told you should.
Oh shit, Wiccan and Speed. It's going to be awesome.
So I mean, that's pretty much the end of the episode, and then everything turns to color.
Right. So
everything.
It's going to be Brady Bunch. I'm telling you next week.
Oh, absolutely.
Brady Bunch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited, man. I mean, I thought the show was, I mean, just to give my overall sort of closing on that. I mean, the show is phenomenal. I said it in the group chat earlier. I'm just so happy to see the MCU go doing something different, and I like that. I don't know what's going to happen at any point in time. I enjoy that about it, and I think that it's incredibly unpredictable. Important thing is
so awesome. This is going to be a fantastic filler for a fantastic replacement for Mandalorian on our off seasons for Star Wars.
Yeah, that's very true. Right?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
I think it's a great start. How much you want to bet Mark hates the series though?
I bet he hates the series so much that he if he had a choice between seeing Rose or this series, he'd rather watch Rose.
I gotta tell you, Dom, I tried with it, and I just don't get it. I don't know why they're doing the 50s. I don't understand it, but it's not for me.
I honestly think that Mark will like this. Now we'll have to see. I think this is up our Mark's alley. I don't know because he does like Evil Dead.
Yeah,
and Evil Dead has this weird vibe to it. And then we're leading into I'm pretty confident in Chris's answer that this is definitely leading into, Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, I think it really all depends on where it goes, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. I mean, it just depends on the payoff, which I think we're going to get a big one out of this, but
I think I would be really super excited for a multiverse level threat.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, if they're going to use this to set it up, I'm down for it more than I've ever been, because I just really enjoy not knowing. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense. It's cool.
I think that they're going to do this. Honestly, I think, we just lost Mando, for the season.
Yeah.
And then now they're releasing WandaVision just a couple weeks after. I think what they're going to do is they're going to start releasing shows just a couple weeks after shows end.
Yeah.
And that gives us such a good reason to keep Disney Plus. So it's smart on them. And I think that it's also giving us a nice taste in our mouths. We know we get to be able to see these things, and we have a small break to, go watch something else. And then we can come right back to, Disney Plus and watch some more shit.
Yeah.
Because they keep releasing them. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to release this Marvel series. They're going to release another. Then we're going to get the Obi-Wan, not Obi-Wan, whatever other series they were doing next. Honestly.
Right. Well, the next is Boba Fett.
Okay. Yeah. Never mind.
We're not getting Boba Fett season 3 are coming in December.
Okay. Yeah. So then we're probably going to get a couple different Marvel things throughout this.
This year alone we're getting we're going to get this Miss Marvel, Loki, and what was the other one? Falcon and Winter Soldier all this year. I
think that's enough time to fill it until December.
Yeah, man, and I think that's a really, really great strategy to just kind of fill out the year with all this. And I
hope that's what they're doing.
I'm telling you right now, if the theaters aren't open though, middle of the year, they're going to release this Doctor Strange movie on streaming. I'm telling you, they have to, because they're going to want they want to keep the momentum, right, of the story.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, if we don't have the theaters open, they're going to have to release Doctor Strange on streaming, either that or they're going to have to push Black Widow over to streaming. I mean, one of the two. Just to keep the momentum of the movies. That's obviously a big part of. I mean, and honestly,
I'm willing to pay the $30. Honestly, I'm willing to pay the $30 to see Doctor Strange.
If it's Doctor Strange, yeah. I mean, honestly, I couldn't care less about Black Widow after seeing this. Because to me, it's like this is moving forward, man. I don't want to go back again. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. This is something they should have done forever ago.
Eternals is an exception to that, because Eternals takes place way before, but that's different. You know what I mean? So
I don't know anything about Eternals.
Yeah, that's coming. That's still quite a few years away, according to Feige. But is coming. And I mean, but the yeah, man, I don't want to go back to the Civil War era again. I think that this is just so fresh, so new, and it has me excited about the MCU. It was just a perfect way to launch again, and I think that they really, they have me looking forward to the future. I'll watch Black Widow, but I don't care as much as I do.
Pay $30.
Yeah,
the only thing I'm excited for from Black Widow is seeing Taskmaster.
Yeah, obviously.
Honestly.
Don't get me wrong. Like I think it's going to be a cool movie, 100%. I just don't think it's going to be anything compared to the uniqueness that we've already gotten out of this. You know, what I mean?
I think moving forward, we're getting even better quality than we got with the previous films.
Yeah.
And, you know, Marvel Universe that they released.
Well, it's just so fascinating when you think about what Feige was saying. I mean, it just shows you the plan. I mean, this is going to lead into Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange 2 is going to lead into Spider-Man 3, you know, and it's going to be one epic action extravaganza, I think, by the end of it.
No fucking kidding.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man 3 with the Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movie, I think that's going to lead into
Sorry, you said the forbidden name.
Okay. I think it's going to lead into the Spider-Verse 2. I think.
I agree.
That could be interesting. Yeah, and then you have this. Yeah, you have this whole other Sony thing that obviously takes place in the same universe as well. It's just, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, man.
Any Marvel property that mentions the multiverse is all canon to just Marvel as a whole.
Right.
It's fucking A+ material so far.
I mean, yeah, I'm digging that crap out of it, man. I mean, God, I never thought I would love these two characters as much as I do now. You know what I mean?
Same.
Yeah.
I thought Vision was such a fucking bore, and Scarlet Witch was just so untouched to the point where it's just like once we got to her in Infinity Wars and Endgame, I was just like, I don't really care about her.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. Like when it came down to their chemistry, I always thought it was good. Like they worked well together. And then like when that scene in Infinity War when she's taking the stone was crazy fucking emotional to watch. I mean, they played it so well together, but I just never thought I would care this much. You know what I mean? And
I remember being a kid, and I got into the Avengers comics, and my uncle, the one that gave me the Avengers comics, was like, "Who's your favorite character? Do you like Vision?" And I was like, "Who?" And then now, and the same uncle with the whole Avengers movie, he goes, "Who's your favorite Avenger? Is it Vision?" I said, "Who?"
He just really wanted to shit on you. That was it. He wanted to shit on you.
I think his favorite character is Vision. Because he, you know, he's like, "Oh, I'm excited to see Vision in this," but like, I'm just like, "Who?"
Right.
Like, he's just so like, the only big part I feel like in the Avengers movies was
the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, when they woke him up for the first time, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is a cool character." But he really didn't do much, and so I was just like,
"Yeah, just shit on him." Man.
Now I kind of understand it. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think Elizabeth Olsen like carries the series for the most part, but like they
deserved this series,
right? He's such a great companion to it, and like. Yeah, I just think that you could tell too, like they're having so much fun doing this too. You know what I mean? As actors, and it radiates, man.
And from the way this show plays out, you can tell this is definitely in Wanda's control.
I think so.
Honestly.
But does she know it's in her control? That's the question.
No, I don't think she does.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think it's kind of like the Dark Phoenix. It's like
it's there, it's
semi-awakening.
Right.
I don't think she's getting this Dark Phoenix. Don't get me wrong. I don't think she's.
No, I understand.
Which ties back to my theory that this is her awakening this deep power, making her one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
Until they release fucking Franklin.
Oh God.
Franklin, honestly, I do want to make
he
a quick.
He breaks the series.
He does. Look, Marvel, don't bring Franklin in. Just don't. I'm sorry. Don't.
He's cool, and I like him and his dynamic with Spider-Man, but like, he just breaks the series. Please don't put him in.
He would ruin the movies. It's almost as bad as putting Captain Marvel in, honestly, because Captain Marvel is really fucking powerful.
Who would win in a fight, Franklin Richards or Goku? Obviously Franklin. Just oh, I'm about to fight you. Who are you again? Hands back. Goku's gone. He doesn't exist.
It would legit be
just
like that, Dom. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Franklin Richards is so strong.
He controls the multiverse.
Yeah.
And then they tried to dial him back in the comics, where he's like a kid and he doesn't know how to,
It's
control
too late.
his powers. It's like you already broke the universe with him.
Yeah.
So let's get back into this. I apologize. I had to make that statement because it's so important in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, loving it so far. I mean, I think I've said everything I had to say, and we do need to wrap. We're going on like 2 hours here.
Yeah, I
so everybody
apologize.
knows. Yeah, it's okay. But I was gonna get into High Republic stuff, but honestly, I didn't get much further in that book anyway. So it is what it is.
What? Real quick, what topics did you hit? Did you hit anything new that's important at all, or you want to save it for another episode?
Well, I guess I can give a quick overview. Like, I'm still like kind of torn on the book. Light of the Jedi is the book I'm referring to, the first Star Wars High Republic book. I'm still pretty torn on it. I think that Charles Soule kind of made a lot of mistakes going through this again. Like, I was kind of talking to you about like all the character introductions. I think that just keeps continuing, and it feels like it never stops. I mean, we could talk about a little bit here. I mean, we're kind of getting into the Nile at this point, where I'm at in the book. I mean, the Nile are kind of like the new villains. Well, before I get into that, let me talk about a little bit just the anomalies that were falling from the sky that the Jedi were supposed to stop. They were successful with that.
Okay.
But like one of the things that and that was one of the cooler parts of the book, and this is one thing I want to give it credit to so far, is that like one of the cooler things was like and we never really see anything like this, where like it's very similar to like what Rey did at the end of Rise of Skywalker, where she connected to like all the Jedi of the past. Well, it's kind of like that, but it's like all the living Jedi, which there's a lot at this era. They kind of like connect to each other through the Force to kind of conjure up the power to stop these like anomalies from falling from the sky. So I thought that was really, really awesome. Yeah, definitely. So that was like one of the cooler things about it, for sure. But then we're getting into politics that I would describe as like maybe just slightly better than the execution of the prequel politics. So I'm not really big on it.
Still somewhat mundane.
Yeah, I mean, and then like the Nile are kind of like what they're replacing the Sith with here, because we don't have Sith in this era, which makes sense. But like they gave us these like space Vikings, and they're really described as like these real murderous beings, and like they are very violent and very and they're definitely a threat. But my biggest problem with that, and the book literally says this, is that nobody really knows why they do what they do. It's like there's no motivation behind them as villains, and so like I'm just like, well, there's just so many mistakes I feel like that were made throughout this book. But I think that one of the benefits to this, of having different writers take on different books for the High Republic series, and this
the other books may be corrected
platforms. Yeah, like I might not enjoy this one much, but I might like the next one. You know what I mean? And at least I have an introduction to the world, and I'm not really, I mean, the only character I've really attached myself to is the character of Jedi Master Avar Kriss, which is a new character. I mean, I really enjoy that. Coruscant, by the way, is in this book, which I think is cool. They still the Jedi Council still meets at Coruscant, so I thought that was cool. Young Yoda has been mentioned a couple times. We don't really get any like moments with him, but he is mentioned a couple times. Yeah, and so that's an interesting little thing. Not that I need a bunch of tie-ins. I do want most of this to be new, and so far it is. I'll give it credit. Like, a lot of it is new. It's just very uninteresting, and I'm having a hard time like latching on to any particular characters in it. So that's just kind of my point of view. But other than that, I haven't really gotten much further. So there's not much more to say. I just I'm intrigued. I want to see where this whole thing goes with the Nile, and I think it can create for some cool moments. I just don't like that there's no motivation behind these villains at all. And I think that that's a problem.
Again, maybe he corrects it later down. Maybe they just don't know it yet.
You know, like the way the book said it was nobody really knows why they do what they do. So maybe it's something that they're going to answer. But
let's hope he answers it in this book.
It just, the way it was written just felt so, we're going to brush over this. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And what was really funny is that, like, well, obviously I have book 2 for the High Republic sitting over there. The one, it's called The Test of Courage by Justine Ireland. But there's also book 2 to this book that's going to act as a direct sequel to this book. And what I found to be really funny is that one's not going to be written by Charles Soule. It's going to be written by Cavan Scott. So I thought that was kind of funny, and I'm kind of thinking maybe they knew they screwed up to have him launch this, because if you remember, this thing was supposed to come out back in like August, you know what I mean? So like the fact that they pushed it till this month makes me think that, you know, perhaps it was, you know, it had something to do with the way it was written and everything. So maybe they had to make some fixes. But
quite possibly.
It just feels very messy right now. And I don't know. I wished it was better, because I was so excited to dive into this era that we know nothing about. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's cool stuff. I mean, it has moments, it has areas of it that's cool. But I for the most part, I got to say, I'm very bored, and I'm like halfway through this thing. So
damn.
Yeah.
You're halfway through it?
Halfway through, yeah. So, yeah, it's
that's sad.
I'm forcing myself to read it, but we'll see. Mostly because I want to get to the second one and know what the fuck is going on in the Test of Courage. So, because I like Justina Ireland as a novel writer for Star Wars. I thought she did a really great job with Rise of the Resistance. That novel was really, really good. So, yeah.
I have a few Star Wars novels, but I really haven't gotten into, you know, like, oh man, I really want to read this new Star Wars novel.
It really just depends on which ones you're reading. I mean, I recommend anything by Claudia Gray. I think that she writes the best novels.
Have you ever read Death Troopers?
I haven't.
It's the Star Wars zombie book. It's
I've
great.
heard about it. I haven't actually read it, but
it's great.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
Yeah, I don't typically read like a lot of stuff that's not canon, just because there is so much canon that I'm trying to get through, and there's still some older ones that I still haven't read that I need to go back and read, and so I try not to read anything that's not canon, at least these days. But I remember like there was another horror one that came out like a long time ago that was actually pretty cool.
Red Harvest.
No, it wasn't that one. It was something else. I can't think of the name of it. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, guys, anyway, listen, so we talked about WandaVision, talked about High Republic. If anybody's familiar with any of those, let us know what you think of it so far, in the comment section below. So yeah, once again, I've been Don Martino. Ian, where can the people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram on jewtacularian. You can find me on YouTube as jewtacularian. And if I decide to start streaming on Twitch again, it may happen here soon, depending on some things. Also, jewtacularian.
All right, and Chris, anything you want to plug?
My Twitch, if you want to watch me play video games and stuff, I play a lot of RPGs and fun games like Warcraft. You can find me at No Shame in Living and on Twitch, and my Twitter is Shame Living.
All right, sounds good. And hey guys, I'll be leaving my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. Be sure to follow me there. And also, again, I've been Don Martino, and thank you guys for joining. We've had a lot of fun discussions here today for sure. I mean, I can't believe we went a little over 2 hours, but hey, that's the point of the show. So let's continue to have fun with it. Again, if you guys don't remember, next week there won't be any episodes of the podcast, and then we'll regroup the week after, and we'll start getting back on track, and hopefully we're all caught up next week. So that should be.
I'll love and miss you guys.
I will love and miss you too, sir. And yeah, so let's what was I gonna say? House cleaning, right? Subscribe to the channel, leave feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, do all that if you haven't already. Leave the feedback in the comment section below. And I've been Don Martino. This has been an episode of Dom's Corner, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye bye.